esperem, não pulem. Eu vou ter uma novidade braba pra vocês que reclamam tanto dos ads nas lives. Agora a gente tá em parceria com a Kik, que é uma plataforma de live também, e eu vou estar fazendo as minhas lives lá todos os dias. E o melhor, sem anúncio nenhum pra vocês curtirem. Então eu vou deixar o link aqui embaixo na descrição, segue lá e fortalece o vovô.
Não vai estar em português, então recomendo que você ative ali as legendas nativas do YouTube. É só você clicar ali em CC, ativou as legendas e é isso aí. Valeu!
Fala pessoal, beleza? Butcher aqui. Estamos para uma entrevista super especial com um cara que, né, vocês não estão cansando de ver, pelo que a gente está entendendo, então a gente convidou o Bwipo para vir trocar uma ideia mais extensa, assim, sobre algumas coisas que ele tem sobre visão do nosso cenário, mas também algumas opiniões pessoais sobre a carreira dele, sobre coisas que ele tem feito.
Oi.
So, Bwipo, great having you here. Did you understand anything that I introduced us?
Yeah, something about getting sick of seeing me.
Awesome. Bwipo, so you guys advanced to the next stage
Cara,
of
lindo casaco da Fly, mano.
LTA, and also the other North American teams also did. That means that LTA South is out of the tournament, and that sparked
O
some
nome do Bwipo é Gabriel?
great discussions in Brazil regarding what we can do to get better and things like that. A lot of tough opinions that we've been seeing from pros and streamers and co-streamers, ex-pro players and things like that. So playing against Brazilian teams and seeing like how the scene has been developing the past few years, I mean, not as closely as people who live in here, but what are some thoughts that you see on Brazilian teams and Latin American teams as well?
Yeah. Honestly, the players individually are not that bad. I think a lot of people, think that the difference is in player skill. I think it's not. There is, sure, when push comes to shove, but I think that the biggest difference is
É o macro, velho. É o
the
QI,
best
mano.
players on Brazilian teams don't get treated like it. Like I'm a simple man, like when I watch someone play League of Legends, there's two things I want to see. The first one,
Ele tem um quezinho de hipnose, o Bwipão, né? Ele tem, mano. Eu já senti.
when I
um
look at the
pouquinho,
characters
mano.
move around the map, I can tell who is your king. We
tem
used to have a
quesinho de
joke in
hipnose,
Fnatic,
mano.
like the president or the king.
Tem que jogar o
That
Cavel com o
is our guy.
Bwipão, mano. Pra
We always
cozinhar
run
um plano
towards the
pra
president,
nós,
we
salvar o
always
Brasil.
run towards
Mano.
the king. It's always about him. In the draft, sometimes that will be your Azir, sometimes it will be your AD carry, sometimes it will be your top laner. But what I'm trying to say is when I just look at the map and I fast forward and I just look at the minimap, just the minimap, I see all these people, whenever they have free time, they run towards that guy. Always. That doesn't happen. They're best players, they just get treated like another player. There's no emphasis on helping that person carry the game.
So how do you see and I remember way in the past when Dyrus said I just won the opportunity to play League of
Cara,
Legends
deixa o
because he
Bwipão
was
dar
playing
entrevista,
weak
tio.
side after weak side and things like
Mas o
that.
homem já deve estar cansado, que eu já vi umas 4 entrevistas dele e as mesmas
But
perguntas.
nowadays
pro homem,
we kind of don't see very much this hard weak side, I think. So how do you see this movement of roles
tá mídia,
beginning to
mano.
happen within every lane?
It's just a matter of where your jungler is usually. Your jungler and support will always dictate the pace of the game. I talked to Brance yesterday and I told him, it's like, hey, right now you guys have no flash. You already won 2v2. You did a good job. You killed people. Your jungler is walking towards his wolves and the enemy gives you an angle to Rakan W in and you take it? Why? Why do you take that? What do you not feel happy with 1 kill? Do you need 2 kills? Do you need 3 kills? Why don't you feel confident with the lead you have?
O Brence é o mais doido, né? Ou é
Confident that you
10-0
can
ou é
wait for your
0-10.
teammate to come and make your lead bigger. Because when you fight 3v3, it's probably better odds than 2v3. So what I'm trying to say is that psychologically, people
Cara,
are inclined-
às vezes que eu vejo o Bwipão falando, sobre o Brasil, eu sinto que, cara, eu acho que a gente tenta fazer muita coisa, sendo que se a gente jogasse o LoL simples, seria melhor, tá ligado?
Take every opportunity
Seria mais
to just-
consistente, mano. Se nós pegássemos no fundamento, assim, joga o LoL simples, de boinha, tá ligado?
you practice.
Controlando wave, sem inventar
Solo
muita
queue,
merda,
pode-
sem querer ficar solando e caralho a 4, fazendo
The guy,
outplay, tá ligado?
you get a kill on him, he fights you again.
Eu acho que é muito
Kill him again.
LPL na mente, mano. Tem que tirar essa LPL, essas ligas que lutam muito leque, essas ligas que os caras pegam drive level 2, é muito isso na mente. Aí os caras querem fazer
Again,
igual,
it's
mano.
Fine, I'll try and fight him again next round. In competitive, it's not that simple. It shouldn't be that simple.
Sure. But like when we talk about Brazilian players, and be that like mobile players, be that FPS players, people tend to say that Brazilian players, they are both instinctive players and passionate players.
Yeah.
Is that what you want on a pro player?
Of course, that's what I am. If you watch me play, do you really think I don't fight people? I fight people all the time.
But do you have to, keep yourself from doing certain actions?
Yeah.
Because you gave an example like, I could kill this guy as Volibear, but why would I do that if my team might need a TP in 30 seconds to fight?
Why? Like the thing is,
So you're not following your instincts.
Well, the thing is the first question is it guaranteed? Like if I go on him, am I going to kill him? 80%, 70%. I'm already really strong. I'm 30 CS lead. I have a full level lead. Why do I need to take a 70% chance to win when I know if I patiently wait for my Sejuani, anything on our screen will die?
Sure.
Anything. That's exactly what I did. I sat in my lane and pushed and hovered, and I just got information. That's all I did until my Sejuani came to me. The second Sejuani is in my lane, enemy mid dies. I take bot tower. So.
Cara, o jeito que o Bwipão fala, parece que esse LoL ele é simples desse nível, né? Tipo, ele é simples, mano.
I want to look.
Cara, eu tô na hipnose, mano. Se jogasse o Bwipão na W7M, era playoff no mínimo. Top 3 do Brasil,
we
mano.
need to first help the other people that are weak.
Ele simplifica muito esse LoLzinho pra nós, mano.
This happens because you're holding your instinct. And what I'm saying is Brazilian players would rather take that chance because of their instincts.
I mean, that's just excuses.
Sure.
You're a professional. You watch the best footballers in the world. They have the ball, they have a goal in front of them. How many of them are just going to run at it 1 versus 3? 0.
Ah lá.
So why is it different in football?
Ah lá.
How many of them are just going to run at it 1 versus 3?
Esse correr no 1 contra 3 é o outplay, mano. É querer fazer aquele 1v2, aquele outplayzinho aqui, ali.
So why is it different in football? Why not wait for your teammates
Alves
and pass the
mandou
ball?
R$3. Tu tá novamente tentando achar algo para melhorar o cenário?
Eu não tô
Já
tentando
falei
achar
3.
nada.
É prisões de El Salvador e o
Não é
Pizinho
prisão,
presidente.
Mano. Não, é pizinho presidente, não.
Why not help them create a good opportunity for you?
Cara, mas é isso,
But
cara.
one
Aí
would
tá, a palavra é
argue
disciplina,
that,
mano.
like,
O cenário
the
brasileiro
great
precisa de
players, like,
disciplina,
I don't know,
mano.
Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo,
Yeah.
or things like that, Neymar, they are known also because, they rather take some opportunities on things that aren't guaranteed.
Mas, tipo, até esses grandes gênios, tipo assim, cara, eu vou entrar no futebol agora, mas eu não entendo muito. Tipo, até esses caras que pegam a bola, dribla 3 e resolve o jogo, todo o esquema tático do goleiro até o outro gol é feito pro cara ter liberdade pra fazer isso, não? Tanto que o CR7 saiu do Real, foi pra Juventus, já não era a mesma coisa. Saiu da Juventus, foi pro Manchester United, já não era a mesma coisa, mano. O sistema tem que funcionar pro cara, pô.
Sure.
If the score is 2-0.
Não é assim, só joga um cara em qualquer sistema e ele vai dar certo, mano. O sistema é feito pro cara...
I mean, you maybe, I don't know, I don't watch enough
Pra ele ter liberdade pra fazer isso,
but
mano.
I'm willing to bet money right now. They don't do that. When the game is 2-0, let's see.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. When initially you got the lead, you got the kill on Varus Rakan, you got the kill, you played well, you played this lane swap well, or you traded well, you got kills. I remember I watched Pain Gaming, like, they got 2v2 kills every game, no?
Yeah.
There you go, that's the risk you took. How to take that lead and walk it further, that's what I'm talking about. You already got, like, that was your passion, that was your instinct, that was you getting a lead for your team. We're playing a strategy game, not Street Fighter.
Yeah, sure.
So if you, the next time you fight to the death when you are 1-0, when you are outnumbered, that makes you stupid.
Ah lá,
Why would you?
ah lá.
If you can die because you are getting tower dove or there's pressure, like that's a different topic. Maybe you have to squeeze. You made a mistake. Okay, like you didn't realize, they're gonna come and dive me. Fuck, I have to fight right now. This is my best chance. Better to fight 2v2 and then someone gank me than wait for to get dove 2v3. Sure, no problem. But when you are seeing them 2v2 and all you need to do is kill the minions so that they can't make a play on you while your jungler is on the opposite side, just kill the minions and wait for him. The jungler needs to farm too. This is the thing. Everyone agrees the jungler needs to farm scamps. Right?
Sure.
I think so. I always tell people that that are low elo, I tell them, first thing I ask them is, what is your job as a top laner? What is your job as a mid laner? What's your
Sobiel
job?
mandou R$3. Vovô Argentina campeã do mundo foi montada para o Messi jogar com a maior liberdade possível. Queijo guarda como de Paul. Enzo Fernandes facilitando a saída de jogo. Maclister e o Messi entregavam o restante.
É o que vai acontecer com o Ney ano que vem. É o que vai acontecer com o Ney ano que vem, mano. seleção vai girar pra ele, mano.
job as an AD carry and what's your job as a jungler? And the reality is it's farm.
2026.
You have a jungler in the jungle because you need someone to farm those camps because you earn more money as a team.
Yep.
That's why there's no 2 top laners. That's why in bot lane, AD carries get played. Do you know why? AD carries don't need levels as much as they need money.
Yep.
Money scales better than experience for them. Both are good, of course. But really, when it comes down to it, if you had to choose, you would want to put an AD carry bot lane because they want gold more than XP. So having someone hold their hand and make sure they get gold, good.
Sure.
So from this perspective, everyone's farming, and your jungler goes bottom side to farm, and the enemy jungler goes top side to
Cara, deu
farm.
uma aula, velho.
And you decide to trade all in when your jungler is bottom side and their jungler is top side. How can you justify that? Even if you kill him, why? Is the game lost? Are you feeling like there's pressure? Do you feel like if I go into mid game and I don't make a play right now, my champion's going to be weaker? Okay, you can make up reasons. I don't think they're wrong. Sometimes I do it too. It's like, I picked counter matchup, but I need to kill him, and I played early game poorly. So if I don't fight right now, I'm going to get outscaled. This is my last chance. You know, I have to fight right now. And then you can talk with your teammates and be like, hey, in this situation, I need you to skip some camps and come and help me because otherwise the game is going to be really bad.
Sure.
And then you will forward that discussion and you will say, then maybe you should counter, like play a different counter because I think this is not necessary. Like my champion scales really well. I don't want to do this. And you see how, talking to myself, I can find a consistent pattern to create problem solving. This is the problem. Is he agreed with me. He's like, why would I fight here?
How does this line of thought transitions to a thing that
Cara,
I
mas aí
think
que é
every
foda,
emergent
tipo,
regions
caralho,
feels
mano.
that
Cara, será que é um problema de coach staff que nós tem, mano? Porque, porra, viado, não sei o que acontece, tá ligado? Tipo, porque os bagulhos que o Bwipo fala são simples, mas são meio óbvios também, tá ligado?
when we are playing on the lead,
Não sei se o staff dá liberdade demais pros players jogar do jeito que eles querem, tá ligado? Tipo Brazilian Things, mano. Fala o que vocês querem, tá ligado? Foda-se. Sei, mano.
we feel
Sobiel mandou
uncomfortable.
R$3,01. Pega o caderno, tio. Ele tá falando contigo, sai desse diamante. Anota isso. Low 3. Tu tá com aquele caderno do Low das Lendas e tá te atrasando.
Por isso que eu tô dar.
And then when, it's one play and all our 2K gold lead goes away, and then to take 2K away from the other team, it seems like such a struggle,
It makes sense. I think it's because people do not practice trust.
O Galf falou em 15 min de vídeo que ele admitiu que passou por 4 times sem saber nada de LoL. Não é possível, mano. Tipo, nada, tipo assim, eu posso pegar um de vocês aí, pegar o Yuri Godlike e colocar ele no time profissional. É tipo isso? Caralho.
You know what trust is?
Meu Deus, mano. Tipo, é esse nível de várzea, mano?
Trust is knowing that he will come and help me. People are religious in Brazil,
Eu vou
right?
ver esse vídeo, mas eu preciso terminar
People are
Bwipão.
what?
Religious.
Preciso terminar Bwipão.
They love Jesus
Muslim.
Christ, they love God. The number one thing you learn is you have to wait. He will give it to you when he wants to. I'm not saying that your
Cara,
best
tá religioso agora.
player is God, but he's your king.
Sure.
You need to trust him that he will come and give back to me. How he does that, it's up to him. We can even talk about it. Ideally, as you play together, you will talk about how you do that. But my point is people don't create situations where they can receive.
I see.
They play in a way where they leave the opportunities for them are not easy to take. It's hard to see.
And when like
Tá saindo fumaça da cabeça
what
do Butcher
clicked
já, mano.
in
O
you
Bwipão tá cozinhando
to,
muito, mano.
make yourself available for coaching Brazilian players?
I mean, I've already talked about this, but I want people to be proud of the region they support.
Sure.
This is how people watch. This is how money enters the scene. I mean, that's how it worked for me, at least. I was in Fnatic. We had good Worlds performances. G2 also had good Worlds performances. Everyone watched the LEC. Shitload of money came into the scene. That's longevity right there.
Yeah.
It's number one, money. Obviously, I'm not made of. I'm made of flesh and blood too. I needed to. So I would like there to be sustainable environment for everyone. I would like esports to continue going because I enjoy it. It's my passion. I would love to work for another 20 years in esports. And if I can help some people understand that it's not complicated to play well. It's complicated to make miracles happen. And this is why a lot of people, when they look at Faker compared to Chovy, people will say, Chovy, you know, he's really good, but. What's that but? That but is that he doesn't make X factor.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. And this is what I do with all the players I talk to, right? All the players I talk to this about. It's like, pick any pro player you want. Any of your favorite pro player that is tier 1, performs at Worlds, and plays well Asian teams. Anyone you want. Bin, Zeus, Chovy, Faker, Owner, whatever. Any of these players. AD Carry, Gumayushi, Carry. Pick any. I'll go through the game with you. Any game. You will see. They wait for each other. They always
There's
play
a sense
together.
of unity, right?
That's exactly what I'm saying, is the team plays as one piece. And when someone deviates, there's a good reason for it, or it's a mistake. And if you make a mistake, that's okay. The rest of the team will rally around that player, and they will wait for that player to respawn.
And like team longevity, teams being, you know, 1 year, 2 years together, that doesn't.
Mano, é isso, mas é isso, tipo assim. Cara, eu sinto que LoL é um esporte coletivo, né, mano? Tipo, já foi a época em que o talento individual ganhava campeonato, mano. Porque há muito tempo atrás dava pra rolar isso, né? Tipo, no LoL, assim, mundial, né, mano? Bem época de leiteiro, velho. Hoje em dia tá muito
immediately.
Tá muito evoluído, mano. Se o time não é coeso, se o time não tá na mesma página, tu não tem nem chance, velho.
Having team unity, right?
Sério mesmo.
I mean, I think you can.
Não importa o quão bom tu seja individualmente, tá ligado?
Structure in about a month.
Não, o Envy jogou solo no T3, mas aí que tá, o T3, entendeu? É o Tier 3, mano. Tipo, é tipo uma solo kill, mano.
Sure.
That's what we did in Fnatic in 2021. I think as a jungler it was much easier for me because.
Só que aí que tá. Por exemplo, um Apen, uma Loud, mesmo se eles não estiverem tão bem em coletivo, eles vão conseguir ganhar o CBLOL. Por causa de mecânica. Mas daí joga contra um time que é organizado, não tem como, tá ligado? Pega uma G2, não dá. Pega, sei lá, uma FlyQuest mesmo, não dá. Pega uma Fnatic, não dá pra jogar contra.
Because when you're playing jungle, you're farming jungle moments, so I can look at my lanes.
Pega uma
As a
PSG,
top
não tem
laner, I'm
como.
fighting these guys.
Os caras sabem jogar junto.
So much more focus needed to lane, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like hard for me to look what other people are doing in their lane. But at the same time, if I'm disciplined, I can show you what I'm doing and lead by example. And again, the Volibear game I played, I really implore any pro player that's listening to watch that game. I didn't do anything. I'm way stronger than that guy. I didn't force my jungler to come bot and kill him. I didn't force my mid laner to roam and kill him. I didn't force my team to come and make plays. No, I let them just do your thing. I'm farming for the first 15 minutes. You know, my first kill came in 15 minutes when I flashed on Talia and killed her. How come 15 minutes later I'm tower diving their team 1v4? I don't need to get 10 kills to do that.
Sure.
I just farmed really well. I denied him XP when I could. I slow pushed my waves. And every time I had a timing, I didn't hit him
Sobiel
under his
mandou R$3,05. Vovô, você tem que trabalhar sua comunicação para falar igual o Bwipo também. Falar com pausas dramáticas. Botar uma voz safada às vezes para falar algo óbvio e parecer
Não sei,
incrível.
mano.
Ele é hipnotizante, tio.
Ele é
Tá tudo na
demais.
fala. Fala
Não,
comigo
mas,
assim,
tipo,
vovô.
Não,
Manda
mas
animar.
cara, não, mas o que ele tá falando é real, tipo assim, cara, o que ele tá expondo, porque, tipo assim, é o que ele tá falando. O que ele tá falando é o seguinte: ele consegue ser impactante no jogo sem matar ninguém, mano. Sem fazer nada, tipo assim, mecânico, tá ligado? Coisa que a gente não tem aqui. Não existe isso aqui, tá ligado? É muito difícil tu ver um cara impactando no jogo sem matar o outro, dando gap no outro, tá ligado? Aqui geralmente tá impactando é que solou, mano. Matou 2v2, sei lá, tá ligado?
tower.
Ele tá falando que, tipo, ele não precisa. Ele literalmente ganhou o jogo sozinho de Volibear e ele foi matar o primeiro cara 15 minutos de jogo,
Sometimes I
velho.
did, you know. To let him, to remind them, like, hey, it's still possible. I might
Yeah,
dive
I'm
you.
here.
Não tem voz safada, mano.
But
Que
90%
Hobbs
of the
faz
plays I
isso desde
made were into river, and I
97,
dropped the
mano.
ward and tried to find
O Hobbs fida pra caralho na lane, fica 0-3, aí o outro top é burro, morre mais 2, 3 vezes pra ele, aí ele escala e ganha o jogo.
Maokai.
É isso que
I drop a
acontece,
ward,
mano.
try to find Maokai. I drop a ward, try to find Maokai. Why? Because when Maokai gets spotted, the
É
rest of the map
literalmente isso que
opens up.
acontece.
And I held my TP for the longest time until they all came into my side, and then I TP'd on the wave and I said, come and get me. Try me. If they want 1v4 me there and try to dive me, I will welcome them and I will try to fight. And I might die for free, but that's a fight I'm willing to take.
Sure. So when we talk about like the coaching Brazilian players, there's a huge concern that we had, which is like pro players that, especially those that have been around for some time now, even if they don't win anything like internationally, they have ego. You know, it's a human thing to have ego. So maybe players that could have had you as a coach wouldn't send you a message because it was like, I mean, why would I need it? You know.
Sure.
So we're surprised by how many people you know, sent you a message or things like that, or were you expecting more, or maybe different players?
I will say that a lot of tier 2 players reached out to me, and I ended up just working with them because.
Cadê os leão do tier 1, velho?
Tier 1 player. I mean,
Cadê os leão do tier 1, velho?
Good few, honestly, like.
Cadê o Rob safado mandando mensagem, mano?
11 p.m. available,
Tino safado.
Sure.
So, from my perspective,
Cadê dinheiro safado, mano?
it doesn't matter. The people that I help, whether
Manda
they're
mensagem
tier 2,
pro cara,
tier 1, they will
irmão.
show people what it's like. If they practice hard, they will show the rest, and they will realize, oh fuck, if I don't play like this guy does, I'm gonna lose my job.
Cadê
Would you say,
Tuts?
like,
Cadê o Tuts?
I know
Que
that
entregou
Tuts-
a série tomando o que do Ivern? Manda mensagem pro
And then
cara,
Brains
irmão. É
sent
grátis,
you a
mano. Quer
message.
ajudar,
Any
tio.
other tier 1 players sent you a message?
I don't really want to talk about it because again, like what I need is not people to.
O cara jogou final de Worlds, mano.
I'm not. How do I say this? I am not the person that has all the solutions.
Sure.
I'm just going to tell people what I think will help them.
Sure.
If I thought that I was so good that I
E aí
could
que
fix
tá,
everyone,
tipo
and
assim, e aí que tá a parada, mano. Tipo assim, com certeza você pedir ajuda do Bipão, ele assistir um VOD com você, não vai fazer um milagre e vai tornar você no ruler. Claro que não. Mas se isso te abrir o teu olho e melhorar 1% que for, tá ótimo já, não? Como competidor, mano.
they are
E
stupid.
te garanto que ele vai conseguir ver algo que tu não vê, velho. Te
Talk to me.
garanto,
The
nem que
Savior.
seja algo básico, mano.
That would be absolutely like there would be something wrong with me.
Sure.
I'm just trying to help people that want to be helped. If
Me
you're on
ajuda,
my team,
Bipão, me ajuda, tio. Tô
There's
D1,
no
caralho.
I will fight you until your ego.
Porra,
comes.
mano.
That's what I always do. I will always apologize to my teammates if I made a mistake.
Sure.
Always. And I will always tell my
Eu
teammates,
aproveitaria essa
what the
ajuda,
fuck are you
mano.
doing?
Zero ego, mano.
But that's the thing. Like, do you know? I forgot his name. Oh my god. But there is like an Asian coach that a lot of Brazilian players they hire him to do, you know, personal coaching,
Sure.
and they have been doing this for a lot of time, you know,
Sure.
for years and years. So how come this guy, that is a great guy, he has, you know, international titles and things like that, how come they do 2-3 years of coaching with him
Yeah.
and they can't seem to break the barrier to improve internationally? Like, it's the same thing. Like, you can't, you know, help with one coaching session, you know?
The thing is, I'm not trying to coach people to get better individually. I'm trying to coach them to make their team better.
Caralho, mano, tudo
Então,
que ele
vamos
faz
lá,
parece que
vamos
ele
lá.
tá num filme, mano. Eu tô entregue a você,
Didi
Bipão.
mandou
Eu tô
3
entregue,
reais.
mano. Eu
Na
estou
realidade,
entregue
nós
de
precisamos
corpo
de um
e
Guardiola,
alma,
um Carlo
mano.
Ancelotti, que era jogador e bom maestro, roubou
Assumo
de
os
merda,
cargos
precisa pra atuar esses
imediatamente.
técnicos,
Cala a
já
boca,
corta o ego deles.
Patolino.
Vovô
Filho da
Du,
puta.
tacas. Tocas tem que entrar em campo pra botar moral.
O cara assume imediatamente Chicago Bulls, Bipão. Assume imediatamente, mano. Papo reto, mano. É da
you
chave
should
do
do this,
office,
this guy
mano.
does that. No, I'm telling him, hey, if you
Não
do
tem
the
office.
same thing every game,
Não tem office.
Consistency, you mean?
if you do the same thing every game,
Eu te
it's
dou
not
cargo no
about it,
Discord,
it's
velho.
a part of it. Yeah,
Você
if you're
assume,
consistent
mano.
every single game,
Você assume.
people will
Chicago
start
Bulls.
trusting you. I'll give you an example. Everyone loves football here. I love giving football examples because I don't understand shit about it, and I'm waiting for the moment someone tells me you're wrong. But I haven't been. If you're a striker and you run in and try to make a goal, you know, your team is supporting you. Are you expecting your defender to come and join you? No.
No. Yeah.
You're expecting him to sit back, relax, and wait for the ball to come back and defend. Now, what if your defender does join?
Vou te dar uma
and keeps doing
derretida. Ou então...
50-50. 50-50. Every time you walk for try and score a goal, the guy runs in and tries to defend. What's going to start happening?
You're gonna take goals.
No, you're not going to take goals.
Réu mandou
Maybe
13
you will, maybe you won't. But you know what's going to start happening in that
Bwipo
striker's
Falou
head?
no galho em 24/7 traz a esperança pro cenário?
Não entendi.
Every time the ball comes to him, he's going to do this. Is someone defending? Can I go? That's the reality.
It creates doubts.
Exactly. This guy is going to be like, can I go for the ball? Is he coming? Like, is he defending? Is someone defending? Should I go defend? how can you focus on scoring a goal?
Sure.
How, if you have one eye behind you, looking what's happening behind you, can you fully focus on the people in front of you and try to score a goal? It's not possible. And this is what I mean with consistency. This is what I'm trying to teach people.
Sure.
Trust is built from you being there every time. When I was jungling, I was a bit of a dictator. I told my teammates this: 3 rules. Tell me 2 waves in advance, 2 minion waves in advance, I'll be there no matter what. I'll be there. Tell me 1 wave in advance, 50-50. Tell me on the same wave, fuck you. Figure it out. I'm not coming.
Sure.
And this created a bond where my teammates were forced to think 2 waves in advance. Do we have a dive? Do we have an opportunity? Can we do something together? Or am I just recalling? Are we playing for the neutral objective? Everyone on my team had to think 2 waves in advance if they wanted my help. And if no one made a call, I would say, after these 2 camps, which roughly, if you farm 2 jungle camps, takes like 45 seconds. I don't know, maybe 30. You know, I would tell my teammates, I'm coming down, I'm doing this and this, and I want to look for something. Or I want to recall. I'll recall by my item, and then I'm going to go there. Or I'm going to do these 2 camps, and I want to make a play on your lane. It looks good. And we talk. And you know what happens? People trusted that when they waited for me to come, I would be there. It's that simple. And people didn't sit there and they were like, sometimes he comes, sometimes he doesn't come. Like,
isso entra num pouco o que a Cavel falou, que os times têm que ter. Como é que é o nome, mano? Tipo não é uma jogada ensaiada, mas tem que ter tipo uns padrões, tá ligado? Tem todo um sistema, mano. Que dá pra que tipo assim, quando chega a X situação, tu já sabe como responder, mano. É um protocolo, mano. Tá ligado? Isso que ele falou é um protocolo que o Cavel fala, mano. Tipo assim, quando chega o wave, eles já sabem o que eles vão fazer, mano.
Eu mandou R$3. Eu estou hipnotizado, vovô. Me ajuda, pelo amor de Deus.
I don't know, maybe, like, I don't understand what he's thinking. Everyone understands what I'm thinking. It's very simple. If you give me enough time to farm my camps and be efficient and figure it out, I will be there. Even if I made a mistake myself and I don't farm the camps because I'm wasting my time, I will still come.
Sure.
I will never put you in a position where you cannot trust my word. And at some point, people always trusted me. And when they said, I need you here on this wave, they knew that all they need to do is wait for that minion wave to come and focus on their own gameplay, because they know I'm there.
Let me swap to some.
O Butcher foi, mano. O Butcher foi,
what
velho.
you're saying, but
O Butcher foi pra caralho.
and it's a broad question. I want to see your take on that.
Butcher?
Sure.
Is Bwipo the main character?
Never. I've always been a team player. I always made other players play better on my team.
Doesn't that make you the main character?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if you want me to be. I just don't consider myself to be. I always look at my teammates and I think, what is the best thing I can do to help this guy play the game? Like when I watch this guy play the game, I sit down and I'm watching him and he's just playing solo queues. Like, okay, so this is what he likes to do. How can I help him?
But have you found yourself in a situation where you didn't have the answer as well?
No, because I would ask him, what do you want? I mean, sure, yeah, first. And then I would sit down and be like, so I don't know what you want. I want to help you, but I don't know how. So what do you want to play? And how do you want to play? And I would just sit there, okay,
But
sounds good.
do you expect for him to have the answer as well?
Well, I hope so.
If he doesn't have the answer?
Well, then what the fuck is he doing? What? You play solo queue game. Right now I go play solo queue game and I lock in a champion. I'm going to lock in champions that I think are good. It's three types of things you can do in solo queue. One, you lock in a champion because you think it's good and you want to win. One, you lock in a champion because you have fun playing it and you don't care if you win or lose. And 3, you're trolling.
Esse trolling não é ciência, não,
They
né?
have
Pelo
some
amor de
champions
Deus.
that they think are good and they know they want to play. I always say this, gun to your head. Gun to your head, what do you want tomorrow? You have a gun to your head, what are you going to play to win? What's it going to be? And then they're like, I don't know.
Caralho, que forte.
Without making a choice?
Cara, que forte essa palavra, né, mano? Tipo assim, você tem uma arma na sua cabeça e você tem que escolher um boneco pra jogar amanhã, mano. Cara, eu não sei o que eu escolheria, mano.
You want me to choose for you? You're going to die playing a champion that I picked for you. Who the fuck wants to do that? No one. So pick a champion.
Caralho, mano.
If you lose, you will die. If you win, you live. What are you going to play?
Cara, faltou um coach me falar isso, mano.
For you, right now. Do you play League of Legends?
Pra clicar, mano.
Yeah.
What do you
Cara,
gonna
eu
play?
Cara, acho que eu jogaria de vários, mano. Esse pá,
You
mano.
gonna make me pick for you?
E, tipo, se eu morrer, eu morri.
Yeah.
Morri
So
feliz,
play
mano.
some comfortable champion like
Like what?
Victor.
Morri
Victor? There you
feliz,
go,
mano.
boom. Alright, let's lock in Victor. What does
feliz.
Victor need in the meta?
Morri feliz,
Looks
mano.
pretty good. Doesn't need bans. Okay, we don't need bans. So what do I draft around Victor? Victor really likes having champions that can engage because he does a lot of damage. Okay. I'm looking for Ornn, Sion. I'll make sure you have one of those in your team. Maybe our jungler can play Sejuani, or, you know, and this is the thing, if the jungler is like, I really like playing Lee Sin, and it's like, oh, Lee Sin and Victor, ooh, maybe not the best mid jungle. It's fine, I'll play Ornn, and we'll play Victor, Ornn, Lee Sin, and Lee Sin will make sure early game is good, and late game, you will have me. I will be there, I'll play Ornn, you'll play Victor, we'll win together. And that's what I'm saying, it's like, even you don't even play professionally, you can give me a champion. You tell me professional players can't own up to what champion they want to play? Everyone has their answer. You just need to ask the right questions. I have my answer too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have my answers too. I can tell you what I want exactly. That's why I made the post. You know? I made a little graphic and I said, this is what I think right now.
Sure.
Caralho.
Quem diria, hein, vovô? Cavell e BRTT falando isso aí desde 1983, aí tem que vir um americano gostoso, diga-se de passagem, hipnotizante,
Cara,
diga-se de
cara,
passagem.
cara, eu escutaria
Pra
um
gente
podcast
começar
do
a levar a
Bwipo
sério.
por dias,
Porra.
mano.
O RTT fala disso desde 2013, pô. Eu não vou givar minha wave pra ajudar Playtroll. Não sei o que, não sei o que. E só agora a gente leva a sério. Porra, aí é foda.
That changed.
And yeah, talking about like this and some of the things that you mentioned, from my perspective, I think you're a player that, you know, you're disruptive.
Sure.
You bother a lot of people. And in Brazil currently, a lot of people are giving you a lot of praise because, you know, you also want to, you know, help the scene, help the players. You have your personal views on a lot of things that we are needing right now. But it doesn't seem that way, or at least that much, in North America, for example.
I don't want to help North America, you mean?
No, that people see you in a different light than Brazil is currently seeing you.
I mean, I'm a controversial player. I know I have my moments.
Sure.
Stress is the enemy. I don't play well when I'm stressed. This is why I have my system. It's because when I'm stressed and I don't know what's happening, I start making mistakes. I flip it. You know, whatever. I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm just going to fight right now because I feel good about it. Ah, fuck. Shouldn't have done that. That's the reality of it. The way I've been consistent over the course of my career has always been the same. The pattern has been the same. It took me a long time to realize this.
Yeah, I mean,
Tem uma receita
There's
aí,
no
mano.
growth, right? Exactly. It took me a long time to realize this. But the matter of the fact is that I'm at my best when I know what to expect
sure.
from my teammates.
Tipo, é um jogador
I don't even care what the enemy
mais
do.
metódico, né? Ele quer entrar no jogo e saber bonitinho o que vai rolar, o que vamos picar, o que vamos fazer.
I know what to expect from my
Vambora.
teammates. I know which wave I can fight, which wave I shouldn't fight, what matchups I'm going to play, what matchups my teammates are going to play. Do we want to go late game? Do we want to go mid game? Do we want to fight? Do we not want to fight? And I'm
saber
open
tudo,
for anything.
Sure. But who you know, holds you accountable when, you know, you're stressed?
Me?
Yourself.
My
Not
bad.
the coaching staff or the other
My bad.
players.
Yeah, that was really bad. Yeah, I agree. My coaching staff would be like, "Oh, what are you doing here? Like, so stupid." I'm like, "Yep, I agree. I have no ego about this." It's like, you know what? You're right. Sometimes I'll be like, "Well, I made this mistake because I didn't know what else to do. I would like help. Can someone help me understand what I need to do?" And why not? Why would I have ego about it? Sometimes I'm just like, "Well, I have no fucking clue what I need to do." I'm sitting here playing Poppy and they're playing all this shit and I'm just like, I feel useless. What am I supposed to do? And then my team will be like, "You need to do this and then you'll be useful." Okay, next game I sit there, I do that, and if I'm useful, I'll be like, "Nice, thank you." Fist bump. And if it still doesn't work, I'm like, "I still feel useless." He'll be like, "Okay, maybe let's change pick then." Or I'll be like, "I don't want to play this. I feel a bit useless."
So it doesn't have to be a crusade every time that you face, like, because I feel like a lot of players feel that way, you know. If we're going
Jogador precisa de conhecer a si mesmo. Bwipo Falou.
through a bump or
Cara, ele
you know
não falou isso em nenhum
tough
momento do
time
vídeo, mano.
or things like that, it always seems like a crusade to get out of this tough situation, you know.
Yeah, I mean, people have ego. I don't know why, but they do. I have ego about the things I do really well. So, for example, there are certain drafts where I tell my team, you pick me this.
Ele falou? Não
don't
com
worry
essas
about it. I'll take care of
palavras.
the rest. And there's drafts where I'm like, well, I'm not sure I'm not sure if I'm going to carry this. Like, I don't know exactly what you want or what I need to do. So, let's figure it out. And when I'm playing a game where I know exactly what I need to do, there's room for feedback always.
Cara, sei
not perfect.
lá, mano.
Baker is not perfect. No one is perfect.
Pior que o jeito que o Bwipão fala parece ser muito fácil esse LoL, mano. Eu quero, ele tá com o LoL 3 ali, mano. Ele tá com o LoL 3,
Like
mano.
good enough.
Só pra ele, tio.
What is good enough?
Que pra nós não é tão essa simplicidade
You wanna work
toda, não,
championship?
mano.
Maybe. Are you going to walk off that stage saying I'm done? I played perfect? Hope not. Because you didn't. No one plays perfect. You can get very close. But ultimately, in the back of your mind, you need to understand that there's always room for improvement. I've had games where I played, really well. Really, really well. And still, there's room to improve.
When we talk about your beginnings, like in North America, and then we remember like Team Liquid had, core. You guys had Centauri, you guys
Hans,
had Hans and Bjergsen. So it's a lot of great players, historical players for NA and from. And it didn't work out that well.
Yep,
and then you went to FlyQuest, and then you guys later swapped Jensen, and then you said that maybe he wasn't improving that much, but your highest point in North America was when you had Inspired, which is kind of a veteran player, but 3 rookies. So did you need to have it was about you having more control, or it was about your team also having less ego?
No,
About
it's nothing
some
about that.
things.
Like I said, the reason why I didn't do well in Team Liquid is because I didn't fight anyone. What do you want? I always come in swinging. What do you want? So how are we going to do it? What do you want? You want to win? Okay. How are we going to win? What are you going to do? And what can I do for you? And then fight. Have an argument. Arguing is good, as long as you have good intentions arguing. If you start yelling at each other like, oh, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Maybe you don't get anywhere. But sometimes it's necessary.
Sure.
But I would always argue with players, always. And in Team Liquid, I was just like, well, they know better. They've been in the NA for 10 years. I don't know. Biggest mistake of my life. I sat back, relaxed, and was an NPC. All I wanted to do was focus on my own game. And I didn't realize that it's really hard for me to perform well when I don't know what's happening. And I just didn't. There was no structure. There was no proactive plays that were being made. We didn't have a structure for how to pressure the game. We just didn't. And that to me is like, that makes me stressed. When I don't know where and how we're going to pressure, I get stressed. And I start making mistakes. And I stop focusing on playing well individually, and I start worrying about what other people
Tem que
do.
jogar relaxado,
What do
velho.
you do to get yourself out of this stress hole?
Talk.
Talk.
Tell people, guys, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. I'm sitting in my lane, I'm farming, but I want to know where I'm using my tempo and what I'm using it for. Because the thing is, everyone will create tempo in League of Legends. It's a fact. It's how it works. What is tempo? It's free time. That's what people say. Tempo is free time. It's when the jungler is finished with his first clear, he has about 30 seconds before his golems respawn. A bit longer, actually, about a minute. 3:30, you finish your grump. When your Krugs respawn? 4:15.
O Butcher
So you
não
have
sabe.
45 seconds.
O Butcher
to
literalmente não
fast and
sabia.
look for a gank, and then you want to be back top lane. When you recall, it takes 8 seconds. When you walk back to golems on your side of the map, it takes you about 15 to 20 seconds. So realistically speaking, you have not much time.
Eu também não sabia, não.
You have about 20 seconds to do something. Right?
Yeah, but I mean, part of the magic is also, breaking these rules, right?
Sure.
No,
but what I'm
like
trying to say
gank,
is-
regank, and
Sure,
skipping base.
absolutely. You can do that. But what I'm trying to say is fundamentally, this is tempo.
Sure.
And the next time you clear your jungle, you're going to be a bit faster because you bought more damage and you're going to clear your jungle faster. That's how the game works. Even if you buy HP, your pet will deal more damage. And most HP buying junglers have health scaling damage. So my point is you get faster and then you get more time. And with that time, again, what are you going to do with it? Where are you going to walk? Are you going to sit in a bush and press S and do nothing? Are you going to hover? What is it going to be? How are you going to use that time to progress the game? Because that's what your role as a jungler. Same thing for support. The jungler the support and jungler are the same. Like they have tempo. They have time to go do something before they need to come back and farm or
É
hold
uma
their
aula,
carry
mano,
down.
de League of Legends, mano.
And in my opinion, when you know exactly what that looks like, I can close my eyes and I can listen to a team that can tell me through their communication where their jungler is moving, where their support is moving, and who is getting help. That for me is when I'm at my best. So that's what I try to create in my teams. This is how I worked in Fnatic. I can tell you right now, when it comes to bot side situations, I think there was no team that could have a profitable bot side situation against us. Whenever you fought us 3v3, scaling champions, early game champions, whatever it may be, we usually
Super
came out
Fnatic.
and that's because I worked really hard with Hilly to make sure that whenever we were in situations where help was needed or help was possible, we would agree on how to do it. And that's why we're a bot side team. I can show you, I think 20 volts of me pathing bot every game. I would not deviate. But every situation that I pathed bot lane was profitable for us.
When was the last time that you felt stressed at FlyQuest?
Me, like last week, 2 weeks ago, I don't know, not last week, 2 weeks ago. Last week we did good. But 2 weeks ago I was like I don't feel like I know exactly what's going on. And it was 3 weeks ago, I think, when we lost. Yeah, it was just like I just didn't feel like we knew exactly what was going on. And we identified that because of Fearless, there's a lot of drafts that like people just aren't that sure about how to play.
Sure.
And that made me stress and play worse too. And I think other people too, by the way, like I'm talking about me from my perspective.
Draft é bem diferente no Fearless, né, mano? Querendo ou não, mano.
Everyone plays better when they
Que é
know
tipo
exactly.
assim, pensa, uma melhor de 5 Fearless, tu chega quarto ou quinto jogo, tu não faz ideia do que tu vai jogar, mano. Pode pintar qualquer porra, filho.
Like I said,
Aí que o LoLzinho freestyle entra em ação, né,
the ball's
mano?
coming to you, the only thing you need to focus on is how you get that ball in the net. But if you're worried about how the ball is going to get to you, and you're playing the game for other people, thinking about what they're going to do, how can you be fully present when the ball is in your hands or feet? You cannot be. And that's why one must build trust. And how do you do that? It's by being consistent. It's by telling people, you died bot lane, I'm still going to be here. You died top lane, I'm still going to be here. Like for example, grubs. The grubs, they spawn. And in a draft where I need to be at the grubs to do them with my team, it's my responsibility. I will be there no matter what. If I have to give up a full minion wave because I fucked up, I will give up that minion wave. And then I will discuss with myself or my coach or whoever, usually myself, I will tell myself, next time I play, I need to make sure I don't make this mistake so I don't give up the grubs, but I'm still going to be there. Even if I fall behind half a level. Because it's my fault. And I cannot have other people start doubting me for mistakes I made.
Bipão.
And it's as simple as that. I fundamentally believe.
Ownership and responsibility, right?
Exactly. And when everyone
Cara, é isso, mano. LoL é um jogo de disciplina e responsabilidade, mano. Tá ligado?
believes that, oh, he will be there no matter what. It's a bad game, he'll be there. It's a good game, he'll be there. That's when I think you can start talking about how you win together.
And I think one last topic that I want to point out is, like, in Brazil, a lot of people within the community, be that ex-pro players, you know, co-streamers, and the community itself, they seem to always point out that Brazilian players, they have so much ego without conquering anything like relevant internationally.
Sure.
That this also translates to them not respecting the coaches. So a common phrase in Brazil is Brazil doesn't have good coaches. So that's why you have to import, you know, Stardust. And then Stardust didn't manage to do a great job in
Cara,
Brazil.
Stardust é
Now
uma
we have
pena,
Seal.
porque eu trabalhei com ele e é um excelente coach, mano. Mas eu não sei o que rolou na Loud, depois na Loas, que o bicho ficou louco, mano.
Which, you know,
Isso é
LEC
sério,
champion,
mano.
and he's having
É um
a
excelente
struggle as
coach, mano.
well. He came in, people saw him as, you know, the savior, he has all the answers, and now he's struggling a lot.
Lidador de Gilf mandou R$3. Vovô, a verdade é que nós gostamos de pagar pau pra gringo que fala as coisas com confiança. Ciel foi a mesma
Cara,
coisa.
Não é só isso, eu acho, mano. Não, o Cold Seal é porque o Cold Seal ele era mais viajado, né, mano? Tipo, o Cold Seal ele metia muito louco, o Bipão faz... Porque, tipo assim, eu tô falando do lado de alguém que jogou, entendeu? E as coisas que o Bipo tá falando é verdade, mano. Tipo assim, não é... Se fosse só a meteção de louco, eu como player, eu saberia, mano. Eu joguei 4, 5 anos competitivamente, tá ligado? E é verdade isso. Tipo assim, cara, os jogadores não têm responsabilidade pelas coisas que eles fazem, mano. Não tem disciplina nenhuma. O jogo é meio que um freestyle, tá ligado? Claro que os times têm padrões, mas não tem essa responsabilidade, tipo, concreta, tá ligado? De tipo, mano, eu fiz merda, mano. Não tem, tá ligado?
Because, you know, Cage is not...
É mais livre, eu não sei se é por coach staff, eu não sei se é de organização por organização, mas querendo ou não, o jogador ele é mais livre, mano. Bota fé, ele pode criar mais coisas e não sei o que lá. E é bom ter isso, certo? Mas tem que ter disciplina também no time, mano. E vai ser um ou outro, mano, que vai poder ter esse... Como que eu posso falar? Essa liberdade a mais, mano. O resto tem que jogar bonitinho, mano.
Perform that well this first split with,
Só que é muita play na mente, é muito LPL, quer fazer muita coisa e não sabe fazer nem o básico, tá ligado?
changing 4 pieces, four players from a finals last split.
O Sil eu não sei, mano. O Sil ele se hipnotizou, né? Porque ele chegou falando que o projeto era de 5 anos. Aí foi pra final. Aí quicou 4 caras, velho, que estão jogando muito. Não sei.
So people tend to, you know, talk bad a lot about Brazilian players and their views on Brazilian coaches, and also talk bad about Brazilian coaches and people that are here coaching. And then you said this week that, you know, it might be a good idea, you know, in the future to come to Brazil.
Ué, Gigo jogando bem. Prodelta tá jogando bem. Leleco, Solo Faker, top 5 na Coreia.
And then,
mandou
you know,
geral
have this
embora,
experience.
mano. E o time da Cade tá uma caquita.
Knows what the future holds, but what's your take?
Na minha visão, tipo assim, eu acho que, claro, não dava pra ele segurar todo mundo, mas ele, não sei, meio que foi uma visão de business da Cade, talvez de lucrar nos jogadores, não sei. Mas eu sinto que ele meio que pensou, pô, mano, eu sou um coach pica, esse time não era tão bom, consegui eles performarem bem, ficaram top 1 na fase regular, chegaram na final, então qualquer time que eu montar aí eu vou conseguir trabalhar. E não é bem assim, tá ligado?
You know, this view about the Brazilian
Não é assim,
coaches
não dá pra fazer milagre, mano.
big off pro players.
I haven't worked with anyone. Like I said, if anyone has an ego, I will fight them. I will argue with you for hours. I don't care. I need you to tell me why you're here. And if you can't explain why you're here, I will argue with you until you sit down and tell me. I can tell you this much, and this is a conversation I have with all my players. Whenever I feel like people don't want to do the work, I tell them this. You gave up growing up with your family, near your family. Your mother will not see you living and growing up in a city an hour away from you, an hour drive, see you every weekend. Neither will your father. Your family members will not see you every year. You may see them, you may not. You might not have time. You sacrifice not just your life, but the life of the people around you, and the fact that they do not have you in their lives anymore.
Cara, tô completamente entregue. Tudo que ele fala contagia, mano.
Hours on end.
E é verdade o que ele tá falando, tá ligado?
And you are telling me.
Cara, me bota nessa fly aí, mano. Sei lá, tipo, tô hypado, mano. Vou disputar vaga com o Márcio, o cara que se foda, mano.
Simple as that. I want to know why you're here. You want to win? You want to be the best? Just tell me. You tell me, I'm just here because it's easy money. I was good enough to get pro, so I got paid for money. Okay. So next split, you will either be on this team and I will not be, or you're going to fuck off and not play on my team. Because it's that simple. All I want is people that want to be the best. That's all I care about.
Streamer da Fly, man.
And I just need to know what you want. And the moment people concede and they say, I want to be the best, then all right, let's sit down then. Let's look at what these guys do and make them the best. Because again, when I'm telling people, I do it the other way around. I tell them what I think will help them be the best in the world, and then I tell them, go look at Bin, go look at Zeus, look what they do. And lo and behold, they do everything I said, but you can also do it the other way around, you know? You can look at Zeus, you can look at Bin. Like, how come these guys are always at the World Championship, always World Finals, always play? Because they play pretty good League of Legends, right? I believe that. I believe that the same players show up because they are doing something very right, very consistently. So just watch them play and copy them. I decided to go pro in season 6 because I was watching LEC and I thought, holy fuck, I can do that. Like, what is that guy doing? Like, I can do that better. Like, what the fuck was that?
Sure.
And I was so mad in season 7 when there was 2 players that got hired that were not me, and they only lasted 1 year and they got benched. God was kind to me. He gave me a better chance. Next year he put me in Fnatic, and everyone knows the rest. But I was really mad, you know. I was like, how can these people get chances before me? But it didn't matter. I kept focusing on what I can do.
Sure.
And that's the thing. You need to focus on what you can do, not what you cannot do. And just look at what the best players do and copy what you can, and then build from there. These guys just farm their creeps, by the way. They move when it's good to move. They fight when it's good to fight.
What do you think about like
Cara, o Butcher
mentality-wise?
foi.
Because
O
one might
Butcher
think that,
foi.
you know,
Tipo, mano, caralho.
if I accept the fact that I don't know anything, you know, I
Não
might
foi
have a weak
completamente, não foi
mindset.
completamente.
And also,
O homem tá ali
people in
ainda.
Brazil tend to, you know, look a lot to, let's put saviors as the word, you know. So like Seal came
Marcio.
in with all his knowledge, and now
Marcio.
Bwipo is telling us all these things. They are the savior. But at the same time, we also have a lot of experience with what we call snake charmers.
Sure.
You know, so this person talks a lot. He talks, you know, it's pretty what he's talking about.
É o que eu
Encantador de
falo de falta de
serpente?
esferas do dragão mesmo. Esse cara tem tesão na voz. Essa voz safada com muita intensidade. Nossos times assistem anime pra melhorar, porra. Precisa de ódio, confusão. E depois perguntar o que você quer. Com uma hipnose.
Cara, tipo, pô, real, né, mano? Tipo assim, caralho, mano. Os caras assistem Haikyuu pra se preparar pro CBLOL, mano. Tipo, loucura, mano. Nós não é levado a sério.
Bandes
não tem
mandou R$3.
ser, mano.
Vovó, você conseguiria marcar um call
Fuder
com o tipo?
Haikyuu, mano.
Você tendo visão de pro player ia conversar legal e tirar mais citações foda dele.
Cara, eu não acho que eu consigo isso não, mano.
I don't know what he really means, though. You know, he doesn't have all the answers.
Yeah,
so
sure.
is that a weak mindset to have or not?
No, I mean, I think you should just, it's really simple. I think worrying about other things than playing well is just energy wasted. That's why I don't care what people think. Like, I'm here to help you. You want my help? Come and get it. You don't care? I'm not going to waste my energy. I'm not going to sit here being like, oh, like, I want to help everyone and make a difference for everyone. No, I want to help the people that want help. It's that simple. I don't have all the answers, but I can tell you, what the best players in the world do.
Eu sou uma serpente encantada,
sit down
mano.
and practice the way they practice.
É isso. Eu
Because I
sou uma
can show
serpente
you what you
encantada,
need to
mano.
do to practice in that way. Then you will play well. But I can't make you spend 1,000 hours practicing that way, because at the end of the day, it's in your head. It's your head. You need to want to do that. It's fucking hard. Trust me. It's really nice to play solo queue and you're like, haha, lol,
E
let's run
tipo,
around.
entra naquele outro vídeo que eu tava vendo, tá ligado? Tem coisas que o Bipão sabe que ele não consegue passar, velho, pros players. Mesmo que ele faça review, não sei o que lá. Então ele vai ajudar uma parte. Daí em diante, depende do player, tá ligado?
Kill people. I love that. Me too. I love it too. I love playing League like that. But to sit down in my
Ele não
screen
consegue
and be like,
passar tudo o
I
conhecimento
could kill
dele.
him, but useless. Like, it doesn't help me practice. It's killing him. Like, it's because he made a mistake. Like, why would I kill him? It doesn't do anything for me. Like, next game he will not make the mistake, and I have a completely different situation. So I will choose to play the same situation that I know will happen. I will force this to happen. I force it to happen.
Would you say it's a mixture of, you know, humility, knowledge, and lack of ego?
I don't know. Like I said, I don't concern myself with this shit.
Sure.
People are so busy looking at the big picture. Dude, just play well.
Yeah.
Just focus on the game, man.
You don't need pretty words. Just
Just focus on the game. Show me that you can 10 games in a row. 10 games in a row. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. All I'm asking, 5 minutes. This is what I tell my players. If I'm a coach, I would say, 5 minutes. 5 minutes of laning phase. Show me that you can be on this wave every single game, ready with a slow push, ready to dive it. 10 games in a row. Show me. Prove it to me. I'm sitting next to you in solo queue. Prove it to me. Someone griefed you? Fine. Next game, do it again. Prove it to me. Until out of 100 games, 99 times, the wave is there. That's what I want, because you can do that, right? I can do that. I remember I was on running Surdy and he was playing Kennen against Sound and he told me, wow, you can put the wave in the same place in the losing matchup. I'm like, of course. I know how many times you can basic attack me before I am in a bad condition. I know when I can bait you to hit me and push the wave into me and when I should not. I know when I need to recall on TP. I know.
Cara, posso falar? A Genji tá ferrada esse ano, mano.
Why you're a professional.
Esse ano eles não passam dessa fase.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people don't practice like this. People
Esse
practice
ano eles não passam dessa fase, irmão.
let's see what happens.
Sure.
I don't see what happens when I play a matchup I've practiced. I know what is going to happen. I can tell you exactly where that wave is going to be. And only time that is going to change if I got ganked, he got ganked, something happened. Like, that's the fun of the game. Things can change.
Sure.
But imagine playing chess and you don't have a fucking opening. You just like...
É isso, é o xadrez, mano. Tu tem que...
And the opponent blunders a piece and you're like, oh, maybe I can checkmate him. And then you try to checkmate him and you lose the game. And it's just like, why? Just play the same pattern. All I want you to show me is that you can play the same pattern. So when I draft you that matchup and I pick you that matchup, I know what's going to happen. That's all I want. As a jungler, same thing. I told my teammates, this is I want the wave to be here in this moment every game. Because then I can start talking to you about what we're going to do with it. And that's what we did. Every game, every single game, my bot lane had the wave in the approximately same position, and I would show up and we would fight and we would discuss. How did we fight? Why did we fight? How do we fight better? What are we looking for? And then complicated things can exist. Then that's complication. Same thing, 25 minutes in, you're on the fucking mid-wave. You need to all be there. No bullshit. You agreed with your teammates, you're gonna be on that wave mid, and then you're gonna take vision, and then you're gonna do neutral objectives, and then you're gonna, so fucking be there. Show me that you can be there every single game. You got shit on, I don't care. TP to the wave. I don't give a fuck, just be there. No matter what. You have to give up a tier 2 because you fucked up? Your fault. Let's fix it. But show me that you're there. Prove it to me every game. You will be there. And then you can build trust. Because when you trust that everyone will be there, you can talk about how you win. How are we going to kill the enemy team? When we are all on the same piece, my jungler's in front of me, my support's next to me, I'm the AD carry, I'm walking up to the wave, and we are ready to fight. We are talking about who is getting Sejuani ulted and when. We are talking about who is getting Varus ulted. We are talking about what we're waiting for. Are we waiting for someone to poke? Are we waiting for the enemy team to come and give us an angle? Are we starting the objective? Are we waiting for the enemy to start the objective? These are the conversations that can only happen when you know everyone's going to be there without fail. Always.
Sobiel mandou R$3,01. Vovô, se a hipnose desse cara é assim e ele é um top 8. Imagina um coma, um faquê? Estamos falando de outro nível de hipnose, ou o Bwipo é simplesmente melhor. Meu Deus, ele é o Goa do vovô puta que pariu. Brance com conhecimento. Mago Red nas cabeças.
Caralho, mano.
Happen, and this is why it's always a fucking mess. This is why, like, oh, we have a 2K gold lead, but it's a fucking mess because you have a 2K gold lead, but the people that are supposed to be there to push the lead, they're doing random shit, man.
Sure.
They're just based on feelings, like, oh, maybe I can kill this guy on side lane. Whee, let's run side lane. Ah, fuck, we gave up mid power. Ah, fuck, we lost our mid tower. Ah, and it's just like, dude.
It's a shit show.
It's a shit show because people are playing on instinct. They don't have the discipline to practice what is going to happen on stage. And this is why people get lost on stage. It's the same for me. I'm the same. If I'm walking up the mid-wave on a character that doesn't do anything on mid-wave, which, by the way, there's a lot of them. You know, if I'm playing Seth, for example, I'm on the mid-wave and I'm sitting there showing, like, what am I going to do? Flash on the guy's head? No. So what am I going to do? I'm just running around. And then, like, oh, maybe I can. And then I flash in and, oh, maybe that was a bad idea. No shit. Because you didn't know beforehand. What my job is to sit in a fucking bush. Is to sit in a bush and wait. Someone comes face check me, bang, I own him. That's my job. And that's what I'm saying. People, they make the game so complicated and about these complications instead of just establishing very simply. If you do this, I can do this. If you are walking with me on the mid-wave, I can poke them. I want to walk with the mid-wave. So I push the mid-wave. I'm playing Ezreal. I push the mid-wave. This is what Ezreal loves doing. He likes walking the mid-wave in. He likes to walk all the way. And the enemy champions have to walk backwards. And he will cue them if they try
mandou
to walk into the clear the wave.
Vovô papo sério agora. Tava refletindo e se você assistisse conteúdo de estudo, acredito que teríamos os maiores gênios aqui do chat. Eu assisto seu conteúdo na live e depois no YouTube. Imagina se você é algo sobre o mundo quântico. 4 dimensão.
Cara, isso vai derreter muito, não, mano.
And then when they're all the way back there, at their tier 2, right? Then he goes into the jungle. And then you have to run into him. And then bang Q in your head. From Fog of War, bang Q in your head. And you're just like, trust me, I played Ornn. I'm like walking into these queues. I'm like, this is not fun. And that's what I'm saying. And you have to also agree. It's like, oh, we need to take the next wave first. So we walk this wave in. And then the next wave, we take that one under their tier 2. We took the wave. Now we go back to the jungle. Because they don't have a wave to take our tier 1 mid. And then we go to our side. And then they can't walk into us. And in the meanwhile, your engaged players need to understand that they need to also wait for them to come in. Sure. How far do they come in? Which bush are you going to decide to win or lose the game on? That's how it works. And then you'll come to conclusions like, ooh, I mean, this bush, like, I don't know, like, I can only go on their front line. It doesn't seem that easy. And that's how you get good.
We have to wrap up, but
sure, go ahead.
I'll ask you one last question is, when will Bwipo stop being a pro player?
I do want to win Worlds as a player, so hopefully I'll get to do that. But the reality of the matter is that I think I can coach people as a jungler and maybe as a top laner if I work really hard. So I don't really consider myself to be, I don't feel like I need to retire as a pro player to help people, is what I'm saying. So I can still play and help people. As a coach, like I said, I will coach if if I get a good opportunity and people need some people just need to be reminded that they can be the best. Because one thing that I really believe in is that over the years that we've had success is we had that discipline. We knew which bushes we were going to win and lose the game on. They walk in here, we fight to the death. How we fight to the death, we discuss. And we know what's going to happen. That is what I would want to teach as a coach. Like I said, if I coach, I'm not screaming.
Cara, eu tô printado e, tipo, não é uma opção, mano.
Screaming 4 days a week will happen when my teammates, my players show me that they are consistent every single game. I want my teammates to create so much structure and such a solid game plan that chaos
Cachoeiro de
can exist.
Dopamina mandou R$5. Imagina o Bwipo trocando essa ideia com o Smoke por horas seguidas. Em 2 anos estaríamos batendo de frente com a LCK.
Within that structure. People get creative.
Presta atenção nessa frase dele, mano. Ó, ele...
So much structure. I want
eu quero que os companheiros de equipe criem tanta estrutura, um plano de jogo tão sólido que o caos pode existir dentro dessa estrutura.
People get creative after you have a structure. That's how it works. If you are just chaos all the time, then you will just flipping a coin.
Ahead candidates.
Flipping a coin is nice when you are playing against a team that's better than you. So that's what I like doing. We're playing against a better team than us. All right, fuck it. Let's play singed. Let's see what happens. They might not know what's going to happen. They might not know what my champion does really. But when you're playing against a team that's worse than you, there should be no flipping coins. There should be a stable, standard game of League of Legends, and you should play around your best players. Because that's what I'm saying. What makes a good team is the fact that they have more players that are going to perform consistently. Consistency is everything. Chaos is built from that. The reason why people love...
Cara, tá tipo assim, ele tá passando toda uma filosofia de Legends, mano. Cara, eu vim pra uma entrevista e tipo... Cara, eu saio transformado, mano. Desses 52 minutos, mano. Eu não tô zoando, não. Eu saio transformado, mano. Tipo, tem tanta coisa ali que tu pode não só usar em Summoner's Rift, mas usar na vida, mano. O bagulho é uma palestra, mano. Não tô zoando, mano.
Bwipo, great talking to you. Any last words in this interview? I mean, we spoke a lot. Thanks for your time.
There is hope. I really believe so. Like I said, I spoke to Brands and he can explain.
Dá esperança pra gente, velho.
There was a situation bot. We were losing lane. My bot lane is going to get frozen on. My Rakan died. My Cassiopeia died. I can show you the bot even if you want.
Mostra esse VOD.
It's I think it's Fnatic 2021 Summer versus Rogue game 1 or 2. I think it's 2. I'm not sure though. Anyway, I use this VOD every time because I with bot laners I always tell them, I was like, why do I fight there? Why do I not fight there? My teammates die. It's because I have to.
Vê esse VOD, como?
I was someone that...
Deixa eu buscar, calma. Cara, é muita info, velho. Fnatic versus... Tem um Rakan. Mas será que é playoff, mano?
Rogue, they should get the push, they should have the...
One Summer versus Rogue game 1 or 2.
Será que é esse, mano?
Push, they should have the... A little bit more team 5v5 skirmishes on an even footing because they have a great
Kicing all of these tanks. See some creative play game.
Yeah, and many Rogue have on the mid on performance.
Acho que é um 2v2 cedo que rola. Olha a Zohan jogando. Top 7, heal, toda a galera, mano.
Long range engage and poke. I really think that this champ, as much as it works in the lane phase, might
não é Twimby ali não, né?
So, from what I recall, the reason why Cassio used to be a good match
with Rise não, né? Pelo amor de Deus, mano.
Even though he's ranged, he's actually quite a short range mage. You know, he's a pretty strong duelist, but Cassio, basically, the more more of my concerns come from, as you rightly said,
will be some guys, I have to say.
I think it is also important that we keep an eye on these TPs from the side of Fnatic, how crucial they are, if they can find any cheeky little advantages. This early laning phase certainly harder than the previous one.
Ele tá morto já, oh my god!
Hillsang first blood immediately upset, can try to trade back a little bit, but really no options here. Lulu in the early game, so oppressive.
Yeah, we talked about the lane phase, the blind pick Rakan coming in, Ashe and Lulu pushing in, winning trades, outranging. Fnatic tried to step up, maybe they wanted to contest the level 1. In the end, they fall short.
Like to this game and get me some...
Saw this because they dragged
Estou Pensativo mandou R$5. Ou seja, League of Legends em alto nível se resume a planejamento e disciplina. Tudo que o brasileiro mais odeia. Por isso somos a pior região do mundo. Estou desolado.
TP'd on as level 4, we're just gonna have to kill them earlier so that they can't TP in our lane.
Big 1v1 here. A little bit of sustain on the side of Bwipo, but Inspired also going to do a lot of damage, stealing away that base. AD is going to be banished as well. Larson first to the move. Flash over the wall from Niski. He's trying to lock him up. Bwipo now fully committed to the fight. They're going to be able to find this one. He gets the reset now. Bwipo stepping forward. He's going to have a pillar of his own to put in front of Larson. He has to find the angle, though, and he's going to get it for now. Niski's got the dance. And clean play from Fnatic to find that punish. And they want to keep going. Hylissang's going to boom, doing double.
Because they get kills. Kill at the left. And now look at this CS coming around.
Eu não sei se é MD5, mas tem um Rakan, mano. Eu não achei o jogo normal.
Skirmishes in the
But now we see another play in mid.
Managed to walk this one out.
Acho que é
Got
aqui.
in on Hansama, that's going to be big. Not quite the fight that he's looking for, but Bwipo may be looking to take it anyway. They've now got in on Hansama, that's going to be big. He's been polymorphed, but it's not going to be enough. Hansama taken out. Bwipo now continuing to chase. He can pick up the Ashe if he wants to. No, didn't contribute to the kill, so he will not have a soul to grab. But Fnatic again, ganking, collapsing on the bottom side. Tremby overstaying his welcome just a little bit here. Will manage to walk this one out. But
his setup was beautiful, wide, and it is because he again recognizes.
Could he just one fetching? He's in my question in the early game, but it feels like Fnatic are always finding ways to force these skirmishes to get these advantages.
Não sei, mano. Não sei se é esse jogo. Pode ser que não seja um jogo de playoff, tá ligado?
Going good. The only real thing they have going for them is the mid push, and like you said, two of them behind
Fnatic is aiming and it top.
Good time. The top moving, pushing in Megan.
Could he?
Yeah, everything just looks.
Não sei não, hein, guys. Sei lá, mano. Sinceramente, não sei, mano. Não achei. Bwipo, não achei, mano.
I think it's 2. I'm not sure, though. Anyway, I use this vault every time because I with bot laners, I always tell them, like, why do I fight there? Why do I not fight there? My teammates die. It's because I have to. I was someone that always had structure, but sometimes in the chaos, you need to make a good play. What I'm trying to tell you is he understands the game. So other people in the region also understand the game. But the reason why people cannot perform on stage is because there's a lack of trust. Because there is no eyes closed, just playing my own game. I know what my teammates are going to do. This doesn't exist in this region, at least from what I can tell. So we'll see.
But there's hope.
I know there's hope. There's always hope.
Yeah.
Like, the difference is not big. FlyQuest went from being a team that we went from a team that was like decent to we can compete with some of the best in the world.
Sure.
And the reason why that is because the difference is not big. People always try to say the difference is huge. The difference is huge.
O Gux faz a boa, mano, com esse sub pro vovozinho,
Then the
mano.
difference is huge. But if you have a structure and you know what you're going to do mid-game, early game, mid-game...
Cara, e tipo assim, aí quando o Cavell falou dessa parada que o time tinha que ter estrutura dentro de jogo, chamaram ele de louco, mano. Falou que ele tava falando merda, que era hipnose, e ele falou isso há 2 anos atrás, mano. O time precisa de estrutura, mano. Precisa saber o que quer fazer, quando quer fazer, e as pessoas têm que respeitar isso, mano. Protocolo dentro do jogo, mano.
That's what I want to help with. I'm not here to give you guys solutions. I'm here to tell you the difference is not that big. Stop pretending like it is. I can show you VOD. VOD after VOD after VOD. I can open 200 VODs probably. 200 VODs. And every single game, I can ask you, can you do that? And so far, every single player I've worked with has said, yeah, I can do that. And I was like, yeah, I agree.
Acreditem.
So fucking do it.
Aí está, velho. Aí está o Bwipo, mano. Aí está o Bwipo. Caralho, mano. Cara, foram 52 minutos, mano. Foram 52 excelentes minutos, mano. Eu vou ver o vídeo do Golf. E depois eu vejo o da Loud, mano.